Hello, it is Monday and it is a new weekly reading vlog. Now, I'm starting this vlog up here with all this noise because I don't want anybody saying I'm not a good dog mum. I'm gonna have to put something there because let me just show you what's going on down here. So here we have Hamish with his own personal little fan. You enjoying that, mister? You enjoying that? Is it keeping you nice and cool? Of course, now I'm talking to him. He wants to be involved. But yeah, Hamish is a bit too warm because it's very warm here in the UK. So I put on the fan and he's been sitting next to it. Well, what do you want to tell the people? Your fan base? Okay. So yeah, I put the fan on for Hamish to just on the floor there, just to keep him nice and cool. Because we can't have him overheating. I'm fine, like I've got baffies on. I'm fine. Hamish, however, is obviously just a bit too warm. Because he is wearing a fur coat and he is all black, so yeah. You just a bit what? Go sit in front of your fan. He's sitting there huffing and puffing now. Go sit in front of your fan. He's like, why is it warm again? Go sit in front of your fan. And I'm just up here to edit my vlog from last week. I'm gonna have to go sort out this dog because he's huffing and puffing because he's too warm and he's moved away from the fan and he can't understand why he's too warm. Look at him. I'm gonna have to pick that up and drop it. Look at him, he's so cute. His fan's over there. He's just look how full this TBR cart's getting, by the way. Like this is getting beyond a joke. But look at him. Oh. He's like, but Mummy, I'm the star of the show. You gonna go sit beside your fan? Eh? Beard needs brushed as well. You gonna go sit next to your fan? I'm gonna have to go make him go sit beside the fan because he's gonna cook. Hello, it's later on Monday. I've done all my editing. I've filmed 2 videos. I filmed on my Tuesday, and I've edited my Tuesday video, which is my vlog, and filmed and edited my Friday video, which is my TBR. And I've just done my antibiotics for my eye. I forgot to do my one that I should have done earlier. So I've only had 3 doses today instead of 4, but it's fine because it's not like it says to use it 3 or 4 times a day, so it's not so bad. Tomorrow is like the last day I need to use them, and I swear the worst thing about the antibiotic gel that you have to use for your eye, like it is a gel that you have to like squirt into, not squirt because it's a thick gel, so you have to like put it. I'm not going to describe it because I know that some people don't like eyes, but I just want to make you aware that you put it into your eye. It's not like a tablet or anything that you put into your mouth. It doesn't go into your mouth in any way, shape or form. It goes into your eye. Like it goes onto the surface of your eye, right? The worst thing about it is that like I'll go through it the bathroom so that I can see as I'm doing it. And then once like I'll blink to get it to spread across my eyes and everything like that. By the time I come through and sit through in the living room again, I can taste it. I say again, you put it in your eye. You don't eat it. You don't eat. It's not a tablet. It's not. You put it in your eye, and I can taste it. It tastes horrendous, but it's all connected. Like your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your ears, all connected. So it keeps coming down the back of like whatever connection, and I can taste it, which sucks. Anyway, Kay's away to see her dad. It's also like coming, like it's like dribbling out the side of my eye. So I'm going to have to dab my eye with some tissue just to get that excess off. Kay's away to see her dad. He's away back to work tomorrow. He works offshore, so he's away like 6 weeks at a time. I did not go to see him. I was still eating my dinner when she left. Like, she left me while I was still eating. But I finished eating, like, well, actually, while I was still eating it, just as she was leaving, I was like, I feel really, really sick. Like, I just got the most intense pain and sickness feeling in my stomach. It was almost like when I had my gallbladder and I was getting the gallstone pain. Like, it was so close to that feeling, and I was like, I felt horrendous. When I went back upstairs again, I got like the bowl. Like, I had a bowl sitting next to me because I was like, I do not feel good. I do not feel good. I feel fine now. It only went away maybe 20 minutes ago. But that entire time that she's been away, pretty much, I've been feeling really, really, really unwell. And I've been like, like, because I took my meds and everything as well. And I was like, you are keeping that down. You are keeping that down. You are keeping those meds in your body. Like, I've got a stomach of steel. Like, I used to, when I was younger, I would be that person that could, like, eat a full meal. Like, I could go to, like, a fairground and have, like, a burger and chips and cheese and stuff and go on a fairground ride that would throw you all over the place. And I'd be totally fine. Like, I've got a stomach of steel. And, like, I'm so scared of not being able to have, because if you have medication, like some of the types of medication that I have that I'm on, like anything's got paracetamol in it, for example, and you don't keep it down, you can't take another dose for another 4 hours still. So, like, say you just take it and it comes back up, you still need to wait the 4 hours because you don't know how much of that dose has gone in your system, and paracetamol is exceedingly dangerous. So I'm not waiting that 4 hours. You can stay. Like, you're waiting until you get in. Like, you're staying. You're staying in there. So I've developed like a stomach of steel. So yeah, I just had to like do whatever it is, like whatever thing I have to do, my body's developed to like stop myself from like yeah. So yeah. I've come back downstairs. I'll admit I am feeling not well again. I'm wondering if it's the antibiotics actually like making me feel not well. It could be that. Anyway, I'm not feeling great again. I have started The Mystery at Dunvegan Castle, reading it backwards, and the thing with that text wasn't great, by Teal Hichu. I've just realised that's a Driscolley, which is, if you've seen Teen Wolf, you'll get the Driscolley. So this is the third and the last book in this trilogy, and it sees Ropa, who's the main character, go to Dunvegan Castle on Skye. I think this might be the castle that me and Kay went to when we were on Skye. I need to check. I need to actually like either Google Dunvegan Castle or check my vlog from when we were on Skye. But I think this might be where we went. Did we go to Dunvegan Castle? I can't even remember if it was. It might have been. But yeah, so I am already 10 chapters in, which is page 102. So hopefully I can get through this fairly quickly. I've also brought down Girl Goddess Queen with the beautiful edges and Meant to be Immortal. And I am hoping that I can get through these 3 books quite rapidly. So I'm just gonna hunker in and do some reading until Kay gets back. I've made myself a cup of tea. I've got my glasses. I need to get the excess off my eye first. Got my cup of tea, got my glasses, got my book. I'm going to settle in, read, and then go to bed because I'm actually quite tired. I was up early this morning to shower. So yeah, hopefully. I'm hoping to maybe do 100 pages and see how I get on. But I'm not going to push myself because I'm really tired and not feeling very well. I'm not going to push it too far. Hello, it is Tuesday. It is Tuesday, which is unfortunate because I'm getting like Friday vibes, but it is in fact Tuesday. I ended up not reading any more of The Mystery at Dunvegan Castle yesterday because I felt so tired, so I ended up going to bed. It was so warm last night. So warm. Like, even now, it's like 14 degrees. It was so warm today. I eventually found a fan at work and, like, cooled my room down. Like, my room, I'm the only one in my office. Like, I've got quite a big office. And it's even the size of my... It's actually bigger than my living room. My office at work is bigger than my living room at home. Probably. And not by much, but like probably. And so I cooled my room down. It's just me in there, just me and like I've got a Mac. So like there's not loads of computers and stuff. But in the drawing room where the architect technicians are, and so it's got 2 architect technicians and an architect. So there's like more of them in the room. They're all sort of not stuffing because it's a bigger room than my office. Like there's more people. There's like it's more in the middle of the building. It's warmer. You've got machines constantly going. Like they've got all their screens and stuff, so they've got machines constantly going. It was a lot warmer in there. So once I cooled my room down, I took the fan through and it was like, here, have for the fan. So to cool him down and cool Oscar down, who's the dog that comes in with one of the guys as well. So we could all cool down because when one of the guys went in this morning, the heating was on because it was obviously on a timer. So it was boiling at work today. It's so muggy. That's the problem. It's so muggy outside. Like it's like soup. The air's like soup, and there's no. Now it's really windy, but like when I went out, there was no breeze. There was no like way to stir up any wind or breeze or anything like that. It was horrible. But yeah, now it's a lot better. So yeah, I think I've caught up with all my YouTube videos. I have had some, I don't know whether to call it lunch. I had some crackers, some cream crackers with butter on them, which is a really bland meal. But I had that anyway. Oh, there's an error in the pages again. Why do I keep getting this? Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. There's some pages that are not cut right. And that's worse than deckled edges. I want to get through this. You're leaning against the books. See, I leaned you against books this time so I could lean you back a little bit so I'm not like up here. Because that was really weird when I was editing it. I just felt like it was framed really wrong. So yeah, I'm going to read. I actually feel like taking a nap. I cannot stop yawning. I keep yawning. Honestly, I'm so tempted to take a nap. But no, I want to get some reading done. Done. It's because I was reading on the page. There's like place names and stuff, and I was reading one of them as I was speaking, and I've got the 2 words mashed together. By the way, Hamish earlier just wasn't. So it took ages to. Like I came in and I sat down and I was filling in my ballot paper because I'm doing a postal vote because we're supposed to be on holiday when the voting is this year. Because of course they put it in the first week of the school holidays. Not like that was strategic or anything, you know, just by coincidence that it was the first week of the school holidays when everybody's on holiday. It just seems a little bit sus. Anyway, my point being, my postal vote came, so I was like looking at it and stuff like that, and Hamish got impatient waiting for me to feed him, and so he went back up onto his couch and settled himself in. So then when I got up and got his lunch for him and came through with it, put it on his sniffle mat and everything, I was like, are you coming? Come on. And I was like, tell him to come down, to come sit, and nothing. Just looking at me like, yep, totally ignore me, like, would not. His recall is terrible. He doesn't have any recall. Scotties are notoriously difficult to teach recall because they're so stubborn. Like that's, if you look up Scotties, if you ask anybody who owns them, if you see any stereotypical, like, you know, if you look at different things about different breeds, like if you look at like things like, I can't even think of anything now, like stereotypical things about breeds the one thing that will continuously come up about Scotties is that they're stubborn. And my God, does he take that to heart. I've never met a more stubborn dog. Unfortunately for him, I'm more stubborn than him. Although sometimes it can be close. Like, I have had a few times where I've wanted to stamp my foot because he just will not give in. And so, when he wouldn't come, I was like, I just had this thought. And so I told him to come here and Gaelic. And did he not just hop too? I was like, why? Why are you suddenly listening to commands in Gaelic rather than English? Like, we did years ago teach him commands in Gaelic. Like, he knows recall commands in Gaelic. He knows them in English because we've used them in English constantly. And just today, this week, obviously he's decided he wants to be a proper Scottish dog. So now a proper Scottish coo. The coo? Yeah, coo. Coo in Scottish, in Gaelic, sorry, is dog. So, if we're praising him in Gaelic, he gets Kuma, which is good dog, or Belchma, which is good boy. So, which is funny, because then if you're actually saying good morning to somebody, you would say Madden Va. Because the rules of Gaelic turn that M into a V, and it's just like, same word, different rules, because Madden, that's what an M, this turns the M into the second word. And it's like French where you switch the words out. I've still not learned Gaelic yet, it's just a whole thing. I don't know. It's just, but yeah, Kuma, or Balachma, would be good dog or good boy. And that's what he gets praised with. And he's looking at me because he can hear me saying it. He really, swear to God, this dog responds to Gaelic more than he responds to English. And I don't know why. It's really funny. Oh my God, we've got a Gaelic dog and we didn't even ken it. Gaelic coo. Kuma. Yeah, I still need to learn Gaelic. I've been saying I want to do it since for years now, but years now, but anyway, I'm rambling. I'm gonna go read. Okay, so I'm now 230 pages into the Mystery at Dunvegan Castle, and I'm starting to suspect that this is not the last book in the series. I thought this was going to be a 3-book series, but I'm starting to suspect that this is going to go on for longer. We are getting things introduced in this book that make me think this is going to go on for a longer series, and I'm not mad. This series has come on leaps and bounds. Like, this series has come on so, like, it's improved so much every book. The first book was really interesting, and then the promise, like, I thought the second book was going to continue on from that, and it did in a way, but it cut off. I don't know if I just need to reread it and I've missed something, but like, what I thought was going to happen, like the mystery at the end of I don't know if I just missed it, like something happened in the first book and I feel like it wasn't resolved. I think, like, to me, we were going to like dive into it in the second book, and then it just sort of disappeared in the second book, like it never even happened, and it was never mentioned again. But then she's mentioned it in this book, and I'm like, did I just miss what happened? Like, in the first book, kids were going missing, and by the end of it, she was like determined to go and find them. Like, she made this promise that she was going to find them, and then it was never mentioned again. And I was like, whoa, what about these kids? What's happening? What? You've just dropped them like a stone. Like, we've just forgotten about these kids. Like, you've discovered what's happened to them. Like, what's taken them. You've figured that out. But now you need to go find them. Like, I don't know if I just missed the part where they got rescued or something. Like, if I just blacked out and missed it or something. But, like, I don't know. Maybe I need to reread it. But the second book introduced us to more of the actual magical background. So like the first really introduced us to Ropa as a character and her life, and got us really introduced to her. Got us her background as a ghost talker. I don't know if it's ghost talker or ghost stalker. Like, to stalk ghosts, or ghost talker, like she talks to ghosts, because she does. Like, her job, like she lives in the slums or a slum in Edinburgh, in this like dystopian future of Edinburgh, or Scotland, or the UK, dystopian future of the world. And as part of her job that she does, she uses her mixed Zimbabwean and Scottish magic to talk to ghosts on behalf of families and resolve their unfinished business to allow them to pass on to the other side. And it's not called the other side, but I'm calling it the other side because you know what I mean. But like I can't remember, the every there, or the other, what's it called? No, the every there is where they are waiting, and the other place is where they go. Yeah, so they wait in the every there, and that's where Ropa can talk to them. Like, they are waiting in the every there, and she sends them to the other place. And so she talks to them and helps them resolve these issues with their family. And she like strikes a deal with these ghosts, and then their families have to pay her for this privilege, and that's how she makes money to like look after herself and her gran and her little sister. And Ropa herself was only like 15 in these books. Like, she's really young, and she is the sole provider for her family. And like I say, she lives in the slums. She is of Zimbabwean descent and has Zimbabwean magic through her family. Our gran herself is magical, and she also has Scottish magic in her because she is Scottish as well. The author himself is Scottish and Zimbabwean. He was born and raised in Zimbabwe and then moved to Scotland, and you can really, really tell that he has this mixed sort of, I was going to say heritage, but I don't know if that's the right word, but he himself was born and raised in, did I say, I can't remember, I think I've said it wrong. Like, Ropa has heritage, like Zimbabwean heritage. Like, her family is from Zimbabwe, but she is born and raised in Scotland. She's Scottish, like her grandmother and that, they all live in Scotland. Teal'c, the author, was born and raised in Zimbabwe and then moved to Scotland and has been living here ever since. And I think he lives in Edinburgh. I'm pretty sure he lives in Edinburgh. And yeah, you can just really, really tell that he has just embraced both cultures. Like, the writing in this, the thing I was complaining about last vlog, or last one of the videos I did, I think it was when I was talking about my most disappointing reading, I was talking about Do Your Worst and the way American authors write Scots. This book is how you do it. These books, the way Ropa talks, like I was saying that to Kay, like the first line of this book, and it's not a spoiler, because we know obviously she's at Dunvegan Castle. The first paragraph of this book, boom, lassie from the slums winds up in a castle. Ain't that a right old fairy tale? If I didn't know any better, I'd have done up my dreadlocks, worn a tiara, and called myself princess. Nah, screw that Disney malarkey. I'm just loving the Isle of Skye right now. This must be what being on holiday feels like. Though how would I know, seeing as I've never done nothing posh like that. That comes through to me as someone who is Scottish talking without having to make it sound, without having to like put in all the accent, Like, this is just, it just comes through perfectly. Honestly, I've never seen a Scottish person written by a non-Scot so well. Like, I claim Teal'c was a Scot, Teal'c was a Scot, and I will die on this hill. But like, as someone who is not born and raised and has lived here their whole life, say, someone who is not me kind of Scot, you know, or like I say, somebody who has not been like born and raised, I don't necessarily mean like white Scottish, just so happens that I'm born and raised in Scotland. That's not what I necessarily mean, because Teal'c is black Zimbabwean, and Ropa is a black character. But what I mean is somebody who grew up speaking Scots, like with a Scottish accent as their first, like as their accent. So Tail Hoochoo grew up and would have learned English through school in Zimbabwe. I'm guessing. He probably didn't learn. He might have learned English in Scotland. I don't even know. But what I mean is, when you get someone who, we'll go back to the American authors who speak American English and then try and write a Scottish person's accent, they do it so poorly. Whereas Tail Hoochoo has been around Scottish people and knows what they sound like, and he's written it so well. How I would write it as somebody who grew up speaking in a Scottish accent would write it. Does that make sense? Like somebody who has grown up speaking in a Scottish accent would write it. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, because that got all messy there. Like, that got so messy there that stumbled right into somewhere I did not expect it to and did not want it to go, because I talk with it thinking. Anyway, yeah, this is honestly the best representation of Scottish characters. Just honestly, like the characters, the diversity of characters in here is incredible. We have so many different types of Scottish characters, like her best friend in this. Well, we've got Jomo, who's one of her best friends, whose family comes from, who are Scottish by coming through, again, another country. I can't remember. His dad did say earlier in the book where they came from. My brain's saying Middle Eastern somewhere, but I can't remember exactly. And then there's Priya, again, who is Scottish, but not necessarily white Scottish. You've got the MacLeods and the MacDonalds, who have this, like, clan grudge going on. But yeah, it's just the thing, that's part of the thing that I love about Scotland, is that we're such an amalgamation of people. Like, the beauty, the thing that I love, and the thing that I've been seeing so much on my TikTok, because I've been seeing a lot of racism when it comes to Scottish things. Like I saw a little while ago, I saw a thing about Scottish hill walking, and it's a specific black hill walking group, and they were like talking about being like Scottish and hill walking and the things they do, and the comments were all like Scottish with that accent, and they were all black, and frogs, it's specifically black, a black hill walking group. Like, it's, I can't remember what it's called. It might actually be like Black Hill Walkers. They're called, I can't remember what they're called. But they look like so much fun. Like, I've watched a lot of their videos and they just look like the most fun group to go hill walking with. And they do like Monroe bagging and stuff like that. And the accents that they have, or the people that talk on the videos, it verges on, from memory, like more, I can't remember what the islands are called, like Caribbean, is it Caribbean islands, is that what they're called? But you know, like Windrush generation type islands, like that sort of, like Jamaica and Barbados, etc. The accent that you would expect to come out of the mouth of someone who is from there. Again, very bad with like accents and stuff like that. And someone, like, people in the comments are like, Scottish with that accent. And I stitched it and I was like, I was enjoying that video. Like, they were talking about hill walking and how, like, they don't leave a, like, you don't leave a trace, and you, like, take only pictures, leave only, I can't remember, there's a whole thing, like, about how you're supposed to treat the landscape and treat the country, and how you're supposed to enjoy it without ruining it and things like that. And I love that. Like, I loved hill walking and stuff like that when I was still able to do it, and I miss it so much. So like watching those videos, it made me feel so happy. And then I went into the comments and that was my first mistake. But like, seeing that made me so happy, and then going into the comments and seeing people being so shitty, it was just like, come on. So I stitched it and I was like, yes, Scottish with that accent, Scottish with this accent. It's telling you, Scottish with that accent. It's like the beauty of Scotland, and I was like, do you want me to give you more proof that I'm Scottish? And I was like pulling out bottles of Iron Brew, and I was like, here's a bottle of Brew Claddy. I was like, I can show you my DNA profile. My DNA profile tells me that I'm 75% Scottish, and then I'm like, next one is like Irish, and then Welsh. Go figure. Mostly Scottish, like the majority is Scottish in my DNA, and then it's Irish, and then it's Welsh. And then there's like 1% English. Or English in like Northern Europe. Why that's lumped together, I don't know. Anyway, and I was like, yes, Scottish, and with this accent is telling you that Scottish, with that accent, yes, they are Scottish, because that is the beauty of Scotland. We are a nation that takes people in. We are a nation who prides itself on its hospitality. We're a nation who has like this thing where we're known for our hospitality. Like, that's the whole point in Macbeth, where, spoilers for Macbeth, just in case, you haven't read it yet and you really want to and you don't want any spoilers. That's the whole point, like the curse that is put on Macbeth when he welcomes the king into his home and then he kills him. Because when someone is taken into your home, so there's a sort of a law in Scotland. I think it's actually still, there's still some form of a law in the background kind of there, that if someone seeks sanctuary in your home, you have to let them in. So like way back when, like if somebody, because houses were so few and far between, if somebody rocked up to your house and was like, can I stay? Like we're travelling, and they were looking for someone to stay overnight, you let them in. Like you brought them into your house and you fed them and you looked after them, and they were under your protection while they were under your roof. And nobody could, if like you were responsible for them while they were under your roof, and nobody could do them harm from your household while they were like, even if you had like beef with your family. Like I said, like in this, the MacLeods and the MacDonalds, they hate each other, but if a MacDonald turned up at the MacLeod home or the castle and like asked for refuge, asked for sanctuary, asked for like to be housed there, nobody from the clan could harm them while they stayed there, because they were under that oath, that protection. And so that is why in Macbeth it is such a crime, it is such a curse, that is a curse that is put on Macbeth when he then kills the king. And that's why he then spirals into that madness. That's why that's why what happens. It's not just the tragedy that Shakespeare is trying to show. It is a real thing in Scottish culture, that he has harmed someone under his protection. And in Scots law, in Scottish culture, we take hospitality very, very seriously. And so even now there's this whole thing about like if somebody comes to your house and asks to use like the phone or the bathroom or something, you're supposed to let them in. Like, I'm not even kidding. So we as a country, that's why when like Ukraine were being, or still are, but like when the refugees were first like spewing out of the country of Ukraine, and they were trying to find places to go where they were safe, and every other country were like, oh yeah, we can't come. Scotland opened its arms and said, you can come here. And I was so proud of my country when we did that. They said, you can come here. Like, we are a country that takes refugees, we are a country that takes people in, and we are a country that like amalgamates in people. If you want to come here and you want to live here and you want to embrace the culture, we will call you Scottish. We will take you in and we will be like, you are Scottish. And so in that video I was like, yes, Scottish with that accent, if they want to come here, if anybody wants to come here and wants to embrace the culture and embrace, what it is to be Scottish, they can call themselves Scottish. We will take them. We will take them and call them Scottish, because that is who we are as a culture. That is who we are as a people. And that is something that is shining through so much in this book. Like, there is no doubt in any of these, like, although there is a diversity of cast, although in saying that, I think quite a lot of the, like, it's pointed out that a lot of the head honchos in this world, in the magical world, are like old white men. Like, somebody's made a comment about that. There's no racism directed towards, or no direct racism directed towards characters of colour in this. And Ropa hasn't really had any, or not that I've picked up, but there might be like microaggressions that I don't pick up on because I am this colour. nothing overt that I've noticed. Like, it's just, she's not seen as less than because, like, she's not less capable because of her colour. She is not seen as, you know, like Priya, for example. Priya is a character of colour who is also disabled, but she is the best healer. And they know that she is the best healer. And they know not to mess with her, even though she's in a wheelchair. Like, these characters are so well done. Honestly, this book is fantastic. This series is fantastic, other than the hiccup with the first book, which I think I'm now starting to think that might be a me issue. I think that might be a user error. I really want more people to read these books because I'm so proud and so impressed with how well Scotland is being represented in this, even though it's a twisted dystopian version of Scotland. Like, to have that as a setting, like, we get so many dystopian books set in America. To have Scotland represented so well, I think I'm just really proud. And most of it's set in Edinburgh, and then of course this one we've gone over to Skye and at Dunvegan Castle, where I've been. I actually know the setting for this, and like, we're in the gardens and we're in the castle, and she's talking about the dungeons, which Dunvegan Castle has this horrible thing with the dungeons. It's absolutely despicable, right? So the dungeons, the staircase for the dungeons is right next to the staircase for the kitchens. So, and I mean like right next, like you can go from one to the other. And the reason for that is that as part of the torture for the dungeons, the smell from the kitchens would go like up the stairs from the kitchen and float down the stairs into the dungeons. And they could, while they were being like starved, they could smell the smells coming from the kitchen. So like the stairs for the kitchens are here, and the stairs for the dungeons are here, and then like at the top of each of the stairs is the dining room. And I've been there. I can't remember if I got any footage while I was there of like the dining room and the dungeons and stuff like that. But it's on one of my vlogs. I've been to Dunvegan Castle, and like the sea loch and everything. Like, I've been there, so I know what it looks like. And for me, who has like aphantasia when it comes to reading and stuff like that, to be reading a book where I have physically been to the place is incredible, because it's making it so much richer to understand what is going on. Honestly, 10 out of 10, absolutely loving it. But yeah, I am this far through. Hopefully tomorrow I can get the rest of it read, and then I can move on to Girl Goddess Queen, which you are leaning up against right now. But it is currently 11 o'clock and I need to go to bed. I've been talking for 20 minutes now, and this vlog is going to be really long because it is only Tuesday. So yeah, I'm going to say goodnight because I should have gone to bed a while ago. Hello, it is Thursday. I had to think about that there. And I finished the Mystery at Dunvegan Castle last night. I really enjoyed it. I need to take a drink because I've just had painkillers and I've got that nasty painkiller taste in my mouth that's just not going away. So I finished the Mystery at Dunvegan Castle last night. I finished it upstairs, so the book is away already in my pile for wrap up, which I'll have to film this weekend. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the ending. Did not see that coming, and I'm kind of sad where it ended. I do think we are going to get more books. I did think that was the last. I thought it was going to be a trilogy, but from the end of that, it's definitely open to more books, so we shall see where that is going to go. I'm not going to be mad if there's more books. I'm more than happy to continue on with Ropa and see what Tale Hoochu is going to make of the future of Scottish magic and that setting in those characters. Like, I am not mad in the slightest. I'm really looking forward to it. I've not enjoyed a YA series like this in a while, so yeah, I am not even remotely mad. I have, though, now moved on to Girl Goddess Queen. I am only 14 pages in. I've only read one chapter so far. It's 474 pages long, so I'm going to be focusing my energy on finishing that. The rest of my books are rereads, and my TBR next month is quite small, so I just want to get like my reads, my like first time reads done for this month. I have now officially read 9 books this month. This will be my 10th book if I can get it read, so better than last month, but not up to my usual standard. But again, that's fine. I've not been at my best health wise, so you know, we're taking it slow. We're just trying to pick up a little bit of time. I think I might, I don't know what I might do. But so things are going to have to go a little bit different for, I've hurt my left knee again, somehow. That's the one I dislocated when I went up to Aberdeen, actually. So this knee's just got a bit of a rough time. So things are going to have to go slightly differently into this week and next week. Kay and I have booked to go away up to Loch Tay next week. So that'll be fun. So we will be away all week, and it means this vlog is going to have to get edited on Sunday to be uploaded. So I don't think I'll be doing much on Sunday, just packing really, to go away. And we are going to be spending the week. It's just going to be a nice relaxing time. We're not planning on doing much. It's just going to be a chill time with Hamish. So I will be taking books up to read. Kay's just going to be relaxing, watching YouTube, just decompressing after finishing up work. She has her last day tomorrow at her old work, and will be starting a new job on Monday, the week after. Like, not Monday coming, but the week after. So she just has that week to decompress and sort of relax and kind of just, you know, until she starts a new job. I've got a week off work. It's our anniversary, our wedding anniversary on the 4th of July. So yeah, we've just got a nice chill week. I have ordered her anniversary gift, but it is bespoke, so I don't know if it will be here before we leave. If not, it'll be here when we get back, so that's fine. But because it's I have ordered it a bit late. It's just things have been a bit crazy, and I wasn't sure what to do because this year is linen, and I like getting it's linen and silk is 4th year present, so I like to get things that are to do with the thing every year. So I finally managed to find something that I was happy with, so I've ordered it. So yeah, but it is handmade, bespoke thing, so it will, the delivery time is quite broad, so it might get here, it might not on time before we go. If it doesn't, that's fine, because we leave on the 1st. Is that right? I don't know. But also, I completely messed up my postal vote and split the envelope A bit from the statement, and I wasn't meant to, so now I'm going to have to call them tomorrow and see if I can get them to print me off a new one, do a new one, and I'm going to have to go collect it. And yeah, so that's fun. I hate the fact that I'm so mad that they've called this election on the week that they've called it, the first week of the school holidays. The first week of the school holidays, that's when everybody's going on holiday. It's the week we always go on, no, I think they know the week we go on holiday specifically, but it just seems like the worst week to call an election. How many people are going to be doing are going to have to do postal votes? It's going to be absolutely manic. I just feel like it is the worst time to do a vote. I'll be interested to see how many, what the turnout is and what the rate is for votes getting thrown out, because I feel like lots of votes, if the postal votes, will get thrown out for being either incorrectly done or signatures not matching, because you have to match your signature to the thing. My signature's not exactly the same every time. How close does it have to be? I just feel like it's just, I don't know, I don't trust it. I don't trust it at all. But hey ho, there's not much I can do about it, is there? Anyway, yeah, I am gonna go to bed. I'm just taking my painkillers. I've had to, I don't even know. I've been struggling today because my cough has come back. That proper horrible cough that I had with the urticaria. So that was really fun earlier. Couldn't breathe, was wheezing, Like, it's absolutely horrible. I think these melts that Kay got from someone, like the wax melt things, we sent it off. They weren't even burning, they were just sitting on the table. Like, inert, not doing anything. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go upstairs and read in bed for a little bit. And then go to bed. And tomorrow Kate is going out for her, so it's her last day tomorrow, and her and a couple of friends from work are going out for her, like, works night out, like her leaving night out thing, and they're going to bingo. They're going to go play bingo. That'll be fun for them. And I will have the night to myself to hopefully get through this. If I can also then get through this at the weekend, that'd be good, but I'll mostly be packing at the weekend. So yeah, I got a new suitcase today as well. It's massive. Hopefully it'll fit like my pillows and stuff in it, because I need my pillows, because you know, my body just been crap. But yeah, we'll need to get washing and stuff done, because we'll need to get Hamish's, I want to get like Hamish's beds and stuff cleaned so we could take them nice and clean for the place, and Hamish is going to get a bath before we go, so he's nice and clean. You know, it's just nice to go clean. Anyway, I'm not making any sense, so I'm going to go to bed and read a little bit. It's still pretty light outside, but it's like, I don't know what time it is. It's 5 to 10, so I'm going to read for a little bit and then go to sleep. When I tell you, I sincerely hate myself right now. I hate myself right now. Without a fiery passion. I'm not even kidding. So I'm sitting here, chilling, just scrolling on TikTok and like, well, I was eating my tea, and it's already past 8 o'clock when I'm eating it. So like, I realised that like 20 past 8 that I hadn't given Hamish his 8 o'clock food round, and I was like, I should probably put my dinner on. So I put the oven on to make my Charlie Bingham, because Kay's away out. So I'll get some of that and just put in the oven. It's now 10ish, back at 10ish, and I'm sitting here like, oh god, I'm in so much pain. I'm gonna have to do some painkillers. Like, got my water here, it's like painkillers. I'm gonna take some painkillers, and then I realise, I'm really itchy. And then I look at my, I don't know if you can see that. I look at my arm, I don't think you can see that. It's not differentiating the colour enough. There we go. See that? See that? See how that's just a bit blotchy and red? And then, yeah, I don't know if you see, it's just a little blotchy red bit. My palms are really itching. Like, my head's really itching. Like, you know, I'm getting this red blotchy. That's really weird. And I look over, and there, I told you, it's back at 10. Back at 10 at night. And I look over. There's my meds that I'm meant to take at 7 o'clock. Sitting there, staring at me, just like, that'll be why you're itchy then, you stupid mare. Because there's my antihistamines. There's the ow. Oh, I've also hurt my knee, that's another story. So there's the antihistamines, you know, the things that stop the itching. There's the Montelukast, the stuff that, I mean, I suppose there's probably enough of that in my system to like keep it going. But there's the Montelukast, there's the everything, all my meds just sitting there staring at me like, there's a reason why you're itchy, because you've missed your meds. So yeah, I missed my meds by 3 hours, and I want to rip my skin off. I can't even miss one dose of these meds, or my skin is on fire. Like, my skin is actually on fire. I feel like I've got sunburn. I've got blotches. You can't see that. I've got blotches coming up all over my skin. Like, I can see the red blotch, and I've not even been scratching. Like, I can see them coming up all over my skin. It's getting ridiculous. And I've got this, my nose is getting, like, my nose is blocked and running and stuff. Which, to be fair, might also be the fact that I've just had chicken tikka. I'm not good with spice, okay? Chicken tikka's like my top out. So the fact that I've just had chicken tikka might be thinking the fact that I'm feeling a bit like congested and stuff, because the spiciness does make my nose run and stuff. But anyway, yeah. So I've taken my meds now. You will be glad to hear. My hand is so sore. I've taken my meds now. So I just need to hope they kick in and it does something, because I'm so itchy. I'm so itchy. I'm telling you, I'm so itchy. Like, there's one on my wrist and like on my hands and stuff, and it's so, like, I can see how bad it's getting. Like, the one on my wrist actually looks, I don't know if you can see it, it's like, I can't point to it. It actually looks purple, like a bruise. This is ridiculous. So I just wanted to document my dumbassery and how stupid I am. Also, I need to do something about my nails. Like, this one's squint. Like, I've never really got my nails done. This has gotten off the rails. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to, this is the problem. I even have an alarm set on my watch for my meds that I forgot. Like, I must have just turned off, thinking, oh yeah, I'll take them, and then I didn't, for some unknown reason. Anyway, I'm going to do some reading. I've just watched an episode of Firefly while I was eating my dinner, and now I'm gonna, because I've not finished Firefly from when I started rewatching it either, so now I'm going to read some Girl Goddess Queen. This is if you don't, I've not actually told you what this is about. So this is a Hades and Persephone retelling. So far we have been introduced to Persephone, but her name is not Persephone, it's Corey. It's K-O-R-E. Corey, I'm not entirely sure how we're pronouncing it. There's been no phonetics, it's just K-O-R-E. I want to say Corey, because it's Greek. Corey. Why can I now not find it written down? I might be totally making it up. Yeah, Corey. K-O-R-E. I want to say Corey, or Corey. Yeah, I want to say like Corey, or Corey, because of like, and the Greek, it's, or not in the Greek, but like the pronunciation of Nike is Nike. We say Nike in the UK for like the brand, but like the goddess is Nike. So Corey, I'm not how to pronounce it, so, but she is not called Persephone. I don't know if there's a change in name when she becomes, like, if she becomes someone different. Like, right now she's this docile character, like she's very much, so like, she's like, her name means like maiden, pure, good girl. Like, basically she's like this, the epitome of like your pure, good maiden girlhood type thing. And she's to be married, and she doesn't want to be married. She doesn't want to belong to a man. She doesn't want to be the good girl anymore, which is funny because I'm reading a lot of those stories now where the like good girl doesn't want to have that image anymore. She wants to be free of that. She wants to not be controlled by the men in her life anymore, because of course Persephone, because again this is a Hades and Persephone retelling, her father is Zeus and her mother is Demeter, and then this Zeus is quite overbearing and very closer to more of the Greek than like the Rick Riordan mythos, like world telling. So he is the like philandering, badly tempered Zeus we all love to hate. The Zeus I will absolutely hear slander on, rather than the more palatable, I was going to say lovable, but that's not, Rick doesn't try and make him lovable. He is more palatable than the Greek than the Greek version of Zeus. And again, even here where like some of the characters are like, oh, maybe you'll get married to Apollo, and she's like, what, and become like Daphne. So there's like mentions to the Apollo and Daphne myth, which I have a book, which is the first in the series, about the Apollo and Daphne myth, and I did not know how the I don't know the Apollo and Daphne myth, and I did not know how the Apollo and Daphne myth ended, and now I do know how the Apollo and Daphne myth ended, and shame on you, Apollo, but not surprised. Yeah, so like, even you're seeing the crueler side of the gods in here. Even Demeter, like Demeter is her mother, and she's trying to protect her, but she's protecting her by isolating her, and isolating her because it's almost like it's almost like Rapunzel, like Tangled, but in an actual like loving way. So she's keeping her on the island, so they're on Sicily, and she's keeping her on the island, and she's warding the island so that nobody can come onto the island uninvited, and it's to keep her maidenhood, to keep her pure, to keep her, you know, intact, as it were, but also to keep her safe from the men that would prey on her, because this is Greek mythology. If you know anything about Greek mythology, and then along came Zeus, you know, if we know anything about what happened to, well, you know, like I've just said, Daphne, Medusa, part of a story that I've seen about Athena and why she became a maiden goddess. We have one of Artemis's stories and the hunter and how he became part of the sky, how the Pleiades got in the sky. You know, you look into Greek myths and you will see like a lot of women being mistreated and assaulted and etc. by men and gods, and treated so very, very badly. Like, hence the Zeus slander. I'm all here for it. So yeah, like, so Demeter wants to keep Persephone or Chore isolated on this island for that reason. And on the day she is to be married, she basically says enough is enough. Like, she is not going to stand by. And when Demeter leaves to go decide who she's going to marry, she doesn't get to decide this. No, her parents will decide this. She decides that she is going to take matters into her own hand, and so she finds a way to jump into hell, basically, to descend into the realm of Hades, who is out with the purview of the Olympians. So in this, it is split into three realms. So there's the Olympian realm, the Oceanus realm, and the Hell realm, the Hades realm. So the Olympian realm, which is the earth and the sky, is ruled by Zeus. The Oceanus realm is ruled by Poseidon, and obviously the Hell realm, the underworld, is ruled by Hades, and they cannot cross over into each other's realms without permission, otherwise it is a declaration of war, and they don't want to do that. And so, yeah, the sort of line on the back, that's where I'm up to in the book, and I'm only 54 pages in, and it said, thousands of years ago, the gods told a lie. Persephone wasn't taken to hell. She jumped. And yeah, that is basically where we are. Like, so the synopsis, past that line is, there was no way she was going to be quietly married off to some smug god. Now she's taking matters into her own hands, with plans that she will shake Mount Olympus to its very core. And falling in love with the underworld's rude, arrogant, and incredibly annoying ruler, Hades is absolutely not one of them, no matter how good he looks in Torchlight. So I've only just really met Hades. Like, she's met Hades, had a conversation with him, and had breakfast with him, like, the next day. And that's really it. Like, we've only just met Hades, and he is not happy that she's put him in this position where he has to grant her refuge, basically. Like, she's invoked. It's funny because I was talking about it with, like, Scottish houses had this thing. It's kind of like sanctuary, the church as well. Like if you go to, I don't know if it's a Catholic church or it's like other, but if you go to a church and you seek sanctuary, you ask for sanctuary, you cannot be harmed. It's the same with like the Greek gods. If you go to their things, you can ask for, I can't remember what it is, but it comes under the purview of Hestia, who's my favourite goddess. And basically, if you request this sanctuary, you cannot be denied it. They are required by divine law to give you that sanctuary, and they cannot break it. Only you can break it. Like, only you can say, like, you fulfilled your duties, blah, blah, blah. So he is not happy that she has put him in this position, to be at war with his, not at war with his brothers, but, like, she's put him in a position, like, obviously. So yeah, he is basically just, like, being, he has to be like a host, but he's not happy about it. It's so funny. Like, so far, he's just, like, so suspicious. But he's also trying not to attract Zeus's attention. It can't be like, come and get your girl. Like, you need to come, because he can't, because she's got sanctuary. But that's all I've got so far. I'm like, there's so much so far. We've had her create a new flower, because she's the goddess of flowers. But yeah, so far she is Corey. I'm just going to keep saying Corey until I learn the pronunciation. And I think that she may, and my theory is that she may become Persephone when she takes on that mantle as the queen of the underworld. Or when she decides that she will no longer be Corey. Like, maybe she decides at one point she will no longer be Corey, and she will be her own woman, her own person, you know? And maybe she takes on the name Persephone, because she was given the name Corey by Zeus. So maybe Persephone. I don't know. I don't even know what Persephone means. Because it does mean something. Like, it does mean something. There's another hero as well. There's another goddess or another character in Greek mythology who's named after Persephone. And it's a name that to me doesn't sound like Persephone, but apparently in Greek it is like another version of Persephone. But, yeah. Anyway, so far I am enjoying it. I'm liking the writing style, the character, while being a teenager and being quite, like, it's that pushback thing against her mother, against her situation, and like, I've read a lot of teenagers who are quite annoying, and I don't like annoying teenagers. Like, annoying teenagers quite often annoy me, and well, sometimes I get it, like, I can get behind it, and she's one of the ones where I can kind of get behind it. Like, I understand her predicament, and I understand her deciding not to take it lying down, and I think the way she's been written so far is excellent. So yeah, I've rambled on long enough, so I'm going to go and actually do some reading. Good morning. I have not had my tea yet. I've only just got up. I don't even know what I look like. The sun behind the clouds is too bright. I can't even see myself properly. But I got book mail and I want to show you. It is the best kind of book mail because it does not go into my TBR because I've already read the book. It is just Elsie Silver's series that's set before the Chestnut Springs series that follows. So if you know the Chestnut Springs series at all, 3 of the books follow 3 brothers. So Rhett from the first book, Cade from the second book, and Bo from the 5th book are all brothers. Jasper's kind of adopted. Jasper from the 4th book is from the 3rd book. Is kind of adopted into the family. Like Bo brings him home one day and is like, "You're gonna live with us now." And Harvey, who's their dad, just like, "Yeah, he's gonna live with us now." So like, but Cade, Bo, and Rhett are actually like brothers. And so like it follows them. But they also have a sister, Violet. And Violet lives on the other side of the mountains, and she lives on a horse ranch called Gold Rush Ranch. Gold Rush Ranch, try and say that. So Gold Rush Ranch is in a place called Ruby Creek, which we do get to see in the Chestnut Springs series just for a little bit. And there are 4 couples, which means 4 books set in Gold Rush Ranch. This is the first one. This is called Off to the Races. So Violet, like I said, Violet lives there. She is a She works on this horse ranch. Now, this book is not about Violet. These books are set before, because by the time we get to the Chestnut Springs series, Violet is married, she is older, she has 2 kids, 2 daughters, I believe. I think they're actually twins, so yeah, 2 daughters. Maybe even 3? 2 daughters. I just know she has multiple daughters, like, because they refer to them as the girls. And when we go back to this book, we meet Violet as a younger girl. I say younger girl. She is old, like she is, I think, in her early 20s, I think. But she's definitely younger than she was. Like, she's more naive. She's a lot younger than she was in the Chestnut Springs series. This is well before the Chestnut Springs series, when Violet has just sort of branched out and left home and has moved away from her brothers to get some independence, because a young girl can't have independence living on a ranch with 3/4 brothers and her dad with no other female influence. No guy wants to date a girl with 4 brothers. Like, and 4 brothers like her brothers, like, let's face it. So she moves across the mountains to Ruby Creek and gets employment at this place called Gold Rush Ranch. So yeah, that is the kind of backstory, but this is the series that follows Gold Rush Ranch, and this first one is about Billy and, I want to say, Nate. That is ridiculous. I can't, if I remembered that is ridiculous. I didn't even say his name. That's so stupid. It's Vaughn. I don't know where Nate came from. Maybe Nate's his brother. So Gold Rush Ranch is owned by 2 brothers, and this is about Billy, who she is brought in as a trainer for the horses. So Gold Rush Ranch is a training facility and breeding facility for racing horses, and Vaughn and his brother own that own that ranch, but his brother's not really interested in it. He kind of does the business side, whereas Vaughn, since their father has died and has been kind of scandalised, Vaughn has taken more of a hands-on approach to it, and Billy is brought in by one of the sort of managers to be the new trainer, and Vaughn is like, absolutely not. No way, no, absolutely not. She's not staying here. And Billy's like, oh yeah, I'm going to prove him wrong. If you like Willa from the Chestnut Springs series, you will love Billy. Billy is like Willa turned up 10 notches. She does not take anybody's nonsense. The next one, I think the next one is about a photo finish. I think then is about Violet. And then the next one after that is about Mira, who you meet. And then the next one after that is about Natalia. I want to say Nadi. So yeah, it follows more the women, and the men are into, like, the men are already there, but like the women are kind of, you know how in Chestnuts, I feel like in Chestnut Springs, like, the men are kind of the string that hold it together. Like, the men are the family. So, like, obviously you've got the 3 brothers, Jasper, who's adopted in the family, and Theo, who is kind of like attached to Rhett being his protege. That's how it all links together. And in this, although there is ties with the men, like, because it's Vaughn, his brother, Vaughn's brother's best friend, and one of the guy, like another guy who they know, the women are all kind of like close friends, and that's what kind of ties it together for me. For me, this series very much leans into the female friendships rather than the men, which I feel like Chestnut Springs leans more into the men. I don't know, that's just the way it reads to me. Anyway, I've read them all already, so it doesn't add to my TBR. But I'm going to go and get my coffee. I don't know if this ramble even made sense. How much of this ramble is going to make it to the vlog, because it doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'm going to go because I really need my cup of tea because I'm making absolutely no sense. So we are having a very good reading day today. A very good reading day. I swear most of my vlog in the past couple of weeks has been from here, just because I have been not feeling great. I started off my day not by reading this book, but it has the novella. So there is, I did say earlier, there are 4 books in the series, but there's also a novella called Out of the Gate that I have not read before, and originally I wasn't interested in reading it, but since it's in this book and I haven't read it before, I decided to read it, and I actually really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars and I cried. So yeah, it's called Out of the Gate. Yeah, Out of the Gate. And yeah, I loved it. It was so good. I'll put the photo of the actual Out of the Gate thing. It doesn't have like a paperback edition, it's in this. But it's got a really pretty ebook cover, which you should be able to see. It follows Dermot and Ada. Dermot and Ada, who are the parents of the brothers who run the ranch, who run Gold Rush Ranch. And you never get to meet Ada because, well, you never get to meet Dermot either. They're both dead before the start of this. Dermot has died recently, before the start of this, and like they're dealing with the backlash of a scandal that he was embroiled in, and Ada died years and years before, but you never get to meet them. So getting to see them as like when they first meet, when they first end up together, because they've known each other since Ada was, well, since they were both young, and this is like them, how they become a couple. So is it like an age gap romance, because Ada was 10 and he was 21 when they met? No, 20. When he first got hired on the ranch, and she was like starstruck with him, like she fell in love with him, and he was just like, oh look, that's the boss's daughter, and never thought anything of it. Just went about his day, and the whole time she was like besotted with him. And then he went off to the army 8 years later when she was 18, and she was away to go to university and he was away to join the army. And the night before he shipped off, she admitted to him that she was in love with him and kissed him, and he was like, what? Like totally just like, excuse me? Since when? Like what? Totally out of the blue, like had no idea. Never thought of her like that ever. Like had never thought about it. She was just part of the scenery to him. But then when he was away at war, he was like, the whole time he was like thinking about it, and like, oh, actually, like I felt something when she kissed me, and like spent the 3 years he was away at war ruminating over it and falling in love with her. And then when he came back from war, that's when this starts. So it's been 3 years. She's now 21. He's now 31. And he's like, crap, I think I'm in love with her. But I shouldn't do anything. 1, she's my boss's daughter. 2, she's too young for me. 3, I'm all messed up because of the war. And she's still totally in love with him. And I just love them so much. They're so cute together. Like, I feel so bad. Like, even in just like a short novella, it's only 96 pages, I think it is. The way Elsie deals with the way he struggles with coming back from the war, like a truck backfires and he like hits the deck immediately, like, and starts having flashbacks, and Ada's just like, oh, okay, right, you're okay, I'm here, you're on the ranch, like, I was just a truck. And she starts talking him around, and he's like, right, yeah, started grounding, to like see what's around him and realise that he's not still at war. And she's like, what was that? And he's like, I don't want to talk about it. And talks about the nightmares, the fact that he's not sleeping, and it's just, oh, I love it. Like, because one of the guys, two of the guys, at least one of the guys in one of the other books also, in one of these books, also is a soldier. So I don't know if Elsie Silver has like, because one of the, in Chestnut Springs, also one of the guys is a soldier, so there's a lot about, she does a lot with like, to do with PTSD and stuff like that as well in her books, and I really enjoy that. Anyway, so I read this, loved it, read the novella, loved it, absolutely loved it. That wasn't even the bit I cried at. The bit I cried at was when like they had a conversation, and it just made me tear up the way they were talking. And I actually finished this, 474 pages. I don't even know where I started off, but I've finished it. I loved it. This was so much better than I was expecting it to be, and I actually had quite high expectations. That's bothering my white balance. People have been saying, like, I've been hearing really good reviews for this, but I did not expect this book to be what it was. So, as I said earlier, this is about Persephone, who we know first as Corey, and she is of age and about to be basically sold off by Demeter, her mother, and Zeus, her father, to be married, and she does not want that, and so she descends into hell and asks Hades for sanctuary, basically. And then they start this snipey relationship with each other, where like they have, and by relationship I don't mean like relationship, I mean like they snip and they snipe at each other, and they get on each other's nerves, and like, because he thinks she's there to spy for Zeus, and she just thinks he's an asshole. Which is hilarious. They're about the same age. Like, I think Hades in this is a couple of years older than her, it says. Because in this, Kronos froze the gods, like the original gods, in time. And they unfroze at different times. So Zeus escaped, and then Poseidon and the others unfroze at different times. And Hades was one of the last to unfreeze. So in age, because of the way he unfroze from time, he is only a couple of years older than Persephone or Corey. We're going with Persephone because it's Persephone and Hades retelling. So he unfroze in a way that means he's only really in age and like physical age a couple of years older than her, and he, like, her and him, like, they antagonize each other and they are suspicious of each other, and it really, if you want I don't know if this counts as YA or not, or if it counts as, I think it could count as YA, but like older YA. But there's not necessarily any violence or any like adult themes, but I wouldn't necessarily, it's a strange one to try and like, it's not like overly young, but it's not overly old. Like, it's not, I didn't feel I was being talked down to, but I didn't feel like it would be out of range to be like too intelligent. Like, it's a good like mid, I don't know, like, I've gone off YA and this was great, but I don't think I would necessarily be like, this is an adult book. Does that make sense? I don't know what it's marketed as. But this is, like, if you're looking at tropes, we have kind of like an antagonistic, it's like antagonistic to friends, to lovers, and it is a slow burn. Like, this takes the whole book. Like, I got to a good, like, I was getting to like later on in the book and I was like, this is not gonna happen. Like, they're running out of pages for anything to happen between them. That is how slow burn it is. It is a slow burn with mutual pining. And neither of them, like, it's one of those things where like, I know they both want each other. Other characters know they both want each other. They both know they want each other, but they both think the other one doesn't. And you're like, oh my god, please, I'm gonna bang your heads together. Just like that sort of like slow burn mutual pining, like tension building, like miscommunication in the sense of like they're misunderstanding what the other one's saying, so like they think they're saying the opposite of what they're actually saying. Like they're trying to communicate with each other, but they're just bad at communicating effectively rather than like miscommunication in the way it's usually done. Like this is written so well. Like B. Fitzgerald has written this so well. And then like Hades just like at one point he sees somebody and he's like, oh no. And she's like, oh what, ex-girlfriend? And he's like, no, ex-boyfriend. And then he's like, oh, and he's with an ex-girlfriend. And she's like, oh. That's hilarious. She's just like winding him up and she's like, that's hilarious. And he's like, stop looking at them. Like, hide me. Like, just casually, like. And then, like, she just has like a thought. It's like, yeah, I suppose gods can be just quite fluid. It's like human, male, female, animal, mineral, vegetable. Gods. Like, this is so well written, so well leaned into the Greek myths, like so well researched. I love this so much. I am so looking forward to reading B. Fitzgerald's next book. And the hardcover has this stencil in for the next book. And I think it's a sapphic Cassandra and Helen. Like Helen of Troy. I think, I'm not entirely sure, but my brain wants to tell me that it's Cassandra and Helen of Troy, Helen, and Cassandra, who's also in Troy. I don't remember enough about that side of the Trojan War, but my brain wants to tell me it's sapphic. And it's, again, the title's got something to do with crowns in it, and it's blue. But I don't want to get the hardcover when I've got the paperback, but it's got the matching squared edge, so I don't know what to do. But this was thoroughly enjoyable. I love this. And there was no on-page sex at all. So if you're looking for something that's slow burn, high tension, like the scenes where they like kissed, or like they almost kissed, or like they got like really close to kissing, like she would like stumble and like be like really close to his face, or like they almost, like those had me like kicking my feet. I loved that. But there was no on-page sex. This is a closed door, like a fade to black. So like I see so many people complaining that no books do that anymore. This is your book. It is beautiful. It beautifully builds up tension without having to have on-page sex scenes. And yet they do, like there is sex. And there are mentions as well. I don't know if there's a... Yeah, this book contains discussions and references to... I mean, it's Greek mythology. It does talk about rape and sexual assault and things like that, but in a very detached backseat manner. Like, there was a point, there was something that was said straight to someone's face, and I was like, yes. So, like, it's mentioned that it happens, and that it's wrong, and it's, like, it's challenged, it's a challenged behaviour, but it's not discussed. It's discussed as a concept, but not as it's not, like, sat and discussed. It's like, this thing happens in the world, but we're not going to describe what it is. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know how best to describe it, but it's just mentioned as a state of fact, not as, like, we're gonna talk about it sort of thing. You know, it makes sense. It makes sense when you read it. So I think if you have a trigger associated with that, I think it would be safe to read, because it doesn't go into detail with it at all. It is just acknowledged that it happens in the world. You know, that's the only way I can think to describe it without necessarily saying, like, it is acknowledged, for example, that Zeus has raped people. Like, when they mention Zeus, like when she talks about her dad, because Persephone is the daughter of Zeus and Demeter, Persephone acknowledges that her dad has raped people. She just openly acknowledges it, that he has done these things. And she does not like that about him. Like, that's part of the reason she doesn't like him, is because he has exhibited these behaviours and she does not respect him because of that. And it's just part of a conversation as to why she doesn't respect him. But it's not gone into detail, you know? Anyway, I am probably going to read this next, because this is the book I got down. Look at that flop. He was just like gazing at me. The only not reread I have on my thingy now is Fire Study, but I will probably take that with me to read next week, because I just want something fast to read now, and this is going to be a fast read. It is. I don't know what I'm going to do. We need to do like most of the packing. We're going away tomorrow, and I'll need to probably edit this video tomorrow, so I don't know. We'll see. Oh, hello. Will you look at the cleanest of boys? Each just had a shower and a little bit of a haircut. So we're going on holiday tomorrow, aren't we, bub? You're looking good. You're looking good. Oh, you're looking good. Oh, don't rub yourself dry. Oh my goodness. What do you want? Huh? What do you want? Oh, look at those toofers. I see them. What do you want? What do you want? What in? Oh. Oh, is that right? Oh, is that right? Your beard's still wet, is it? It's still a bit damp. It's still a wee bit damp. Look at those big fans. Have you just had a drink? Is that what it is? Yeah, you just had a drink. Have you just had a big drink? You want me to go downstairs, don't you? Oh, look at those big ears. Look at those big ears. Oh, those big ears. Just wants me to go downstairs. No, you're looking at the door. She wants me to go downstairs. I can hear Kay. I can hear Mummy. She's got the hair dryer on because she's drying her own hair. Is that why you came upstairs and gave me the fright of my life? Eh? Push the door open. You gave me the fright of my life. Hello. So, as you can see, I'm in my office / library, and I've just filmed my wrap up for June. As I said, I've not finished this yet, but I am almost, well, I'm like a third of the way through, so I'll probably finish it tonight. I have pulled all my clothes together for holiday, so I just need to actually put them in the suitcase, but I've just not put them in the suitcase yet. That's all, because I'm doing other things. I need to get this video, the wrap up, edited and posted. I need to get this vlog edited and posted, because I cannot do that from where we're going on holiday. Ow, I just pulled my own hair, that hurt. And yeah, that is basically it. Hamish is being, I'll have just put a clip in before this of what he's doing. He's down at my feet and he's trying to bully me into going downstairs. I don't know if it's because he wants fed, even though it's only just gone 5 o'clock and he's still got half an hour. He's still got half an hour until he gets fed. Or what? But yeah, he scared the bejesus out of me. He pushed the door open even though it was shut on the latch properly. But yeah. But yeah, I've just filmed my wrap up and I've just been putting things away, but I've now realised, as we slowly pan round, these books, I have nowhere to put them. These books, I need to put them down on the shelf. These books, I still have nowhere to put them. This is my Chloe Lease set. This is my Percy Jackson set. So yeah, I actually have nowhere to put them because, well, the thing is, right, so this has got like Thunderhead in it, Scythe is down here, this has got Can't Spell Trees Without Tea, Love Letters to Their and Girl Goddess Queen. They need to go on the shelves somewhere, but I don't know where. We've still got to get shelves over here. I don't have anywhere to put them right now. Oh dear. Anyway, I am just coming in to say goodbye to this vlog because I need to, like I say, get it edited and everything before I can go on holiday. So thanks very much for watching. If you want to let me know you were here, if you leave me, it's the end of June, so leave me some pride emojis down in the comments. Let's get our last days of pride in. And yeah, I will see you next week for a vlog from when we were on holiday. Hopefully we'll get some good walks with Hamish and get some good scenery. I don't know if it's going to be raining or not, but we've got a wood burner, so it's fine. And hopefully I can get a good chunk of my TBR read while we're up there as well, because we are just going up there to relax. Just going to relax. So yeah. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!